Today, I have the joy of welcoming someone whose mission is beautifully simple and deeply needed. Sue Marasciulo isn't chasing fame or fortune or anything that shines on the surface. Her work is grounded in something far more powerful, helping people of all ages read, connect, and fall in love with words. She's relentless in the best way. She has already written 9 decodable graphic novels with one on the way. Sue is building bridges into literacy, one accessible, engaging story at a time. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Abby Dominguez. This is Heart to Heart with Abba Gaba podcast, and I'm so glad you're here. I spent over a decade as a nanny and teacher, learning from children and families around the world. Now I bring those lessons to you, heart to heart conversations with people from all walks of life, sharing stories of love, laughter, and resilience that remind us of the power of connection and community. Subscribe today and join our village of heart to heart listeners. Sue, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful to be chatting with you right now.
Oh, same here. Thank you so much.
Oh, and I want to welcome you to Heart with Abagaba. And I wanted to ask you, where do I have the pleasure of speaking with you from today?
Oh, I am from Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. That's where
Oh,
I'm located.
nice.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Nice and
I
sunny.
Oh, nice and sunny. I'm in Mesa, Arizona, and we've actually had rain today. It's been cooler. It's nice. It's a nice day.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah. All right. So I want to start with this. You're on a mission that's clearly not about you. Where did that passion for helping people fall in love with words begin?
Oh boy. I I I guess when I first started teaching, which was kind of late in my life, I didn't start teaching until I was about 47, I believe the age was.
Uh-huh.
And when I realized there were so many struggling readers and with low self-esteem. Um, my heart just broke for them, and I knew that I had to do something about it. And it was a journey that started, and it can't, it won't ever end. It's just, I'm just obsessed with the whole idea of helping all those children learn how to read that are struggling. The nation is in a literacy crisis, as you know.
Mhm.
Um,
I love
yeah.
that. And that leads me to my next question I've been curious about. What moved you from caring about literacy to actually writing 9 decodable graphic novels? That's a huge undertaking.
Thank you. Actually, book 10 just came out yesterday.
Ooh, congratulations. That's
Thank you so much.
amazing.
It's so much fun. Yeah. Um, well, it was those children that I worked with that felt terrible about themselves.
Oh,
Um, and I just knew while I was teaching, it was very difficult. I would write little stories. It was those children that were struggling with reading and with low self-esteem. They would cry. I was a special educator, so I taught first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. They move you
mhm.
around quite a bit where the
Right.
need is. The last 7 years of my teaching, I was with fifth graders. So now we have they're getting ready to go into middle school. And I had 11 children out of the class was a classroom of 23. 11 of them were struggling readers. So I I did the best I could, which was quite a struggle to help them learn how to read. I made little books that were decodable that they were able to sound out because I um, am a certified Wilson reading instructor. And what that entails is very explicit and sequential type of teaching of all the phonics rules. So that that Wilson reading, I would make little booklets to match their level, and I made them as silly as possible because I wanted them to laugh and have fun, and
Ah,
that's the kind of person I am.
I love it.
Make it as funny, laugh, just laugh your life away, and all will be good. So
Oh, I love it.
yes,
Because if
so
they're having fun while learning, it makes it more effective, more engaging. So,
yes, exactly. The sillier, the better. So
yeah, love
it's my
it.
motto. Yeah. Yeah, so from writing those little books, I knew that when I retired that I was going to do something about making my own books. And I put it off for a while after retirement because it's scary to become like I'm going to become an author. Like really, I don't know what I'm doing. But I can't believe how much fun this journey has been and how successful I feel with all these books and kids loving them. So it's a lot of fun.
It's amazing. I mean, creativity has no end, right? Once you
That's true.
start, keeps on giving.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, thank
So,
you.
oh, I wanted to ask you. So, for listeners who may be new to decodable books, what makes them different and why are they so powerful?
Well, all learners benefit from what they call structured literacy, which is there's a sequence to the each pattern of phonics rules. So you start with the basic rules, which is words that are short vowels,
Yeah.
and they're called consonant, vowel, consonant words or CVC words. And that is usually most teachings start with that short vowel, the CVC words. And so if you write something that is all CVC, of course, with a couple of other words, you can't write, it can't be all CVC, but the
Mhm.
majority of the words are something that they can sound out. Um, they experience for the first time, I can read. And
Oh.
that feeling can't be topped because they finally have success. Whereas there was a lot of teaching in the past, which the world is slowly changing towards, called balanced literacy. Now, that is a book, they would call it a leveled book. That book would be like maybe patterns. So the house is green, the car is green, the grass is green, some kind of a pattern like that. But it was memorization of a pattern and looking at the picture. And this is the way many, many teachers taught, including myself, until I got Wilson certified. And I said, oh, so there is a structure to teaching reading.
Mhm.
And that is what makes decodable books so special. This
Oh,
structure, this
structure.
sequential structure. It gets more difficult as they master that one type of rule. They could move on to another one and include, and always circle back to the
Mhm.
original rules and so on and so forth. And they experience success for the first time. And bingo,
Yay.
that's that's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's wonderful for me, the joy I see with them. It's wonderful for them, for the parents. It's unbelievable.
Joy all around. I love that you mentioned joy. And speaking of joy, do you have a favorite character or moment from your books that still make you smile?
Oh, yes. Bud. Bud is my son's dog. Um, and he is one of the main characters of the books. And he is just as silly as can be. He loves mud. And so So there's a lot of mud, and look how tappable. Oh, sorry, tappable is when you could sound out the word d, mud.
Oh,
So it's like you can sound out the word mud easily. So it's a great word to include in your beginner decodable books. So anyway, so Bud is a main character, and he's
oh.
just as silly as can be. He'll get a bat. He'll play in the mud, Pat, the other main character, will wash him. And then, of course, what does he do? He escapes and he goes rolling in the mud again. And there's just a lot of a lot. Bud is a character. He gets into garbage. He does a lot of like, he's mischievous and he gets into a lot of trouble. But at the end, Pat is always very forgiving, and they hug and
Oh,
kiss. And Bud does, he licks him, and it's always like a you know, it teaches a lesson that even though maybe they can get into a lot of mischief, you need to forgive. So there's
oh.
a forgiving lesson with that relationship between Pat and Bud.
I was creating a visual in my mind while you were talking, and I just love it. I was like, "Oh, Bud, he likes mud, but mud, it rhymes."
Bud,
Anyway,
Bud likes Bud, Bud loves Bud.
that is so awesome. What are the biggest barriers you see young or struggling readers face today?
What are the biggest barriers that they have? The
That you
struggling
see
readers.
for like young or struggling readers, yeah.
Um, the biggest barriers are the schools that have not adopted structured literacy, and
Mm,
they're still using that. The structured literacy is evidence-based. There's a lot of research that goes into it. It's many, many, many years of research, um, also called the science of reading. And there are schools that are digging their heels in for whatever reason and sticking with that balanced literacy where kids are like, okay, look at the picture. Can you figure out the word from the picture? Make a guess. That's not the way you teach reading. So that is the barrier. Barrier is that there are many, many schools that still have not hopped on board.
mhm,
Although I want to say it seems to be moving, that we're getting some movement with that.
mhm.
And that makes me very, very happy to see
Yeah.
when that schools are finally training their teachers
Mhm.
to learn how to, teach reading, because it's not the teacher's fault. They were never trained in colleges. The
Right.
colleges need to hop on board as well and, teach the teachers the correct information. I had a master's in reading, and all of the information that I learned is not usable. It's not true. It's not usable. It's not
We
evidence-based.
can't teach what we don't know, right?
Exactly. It's not the teacher's fault. It's so sad because, I remember feeling so frustrated that I wanted these struggling readers. I was the reading teacher at first and then a special educator. So I was always with children who struggled with reading. And, to not have the tools
Mhm.
was so frustrating. I tried everything that I had learned in college
Yeah.
and more, and read more, but the information just wasn't there many, many years ago. I started teaching in late in life. It was 2000, the year 2000.
Mhm.
Um, but I didn't have the tools until I got certified in
Yeah.
Wilson. Thank goodness my school district did that.
Yay, that's fabulous. That's wonderful. For parents who feel overwhelmed, where can they realistically start?
Where could the parents start? They could learn about um, structured literacy. There are many websites that they could go to learn about the way reading is taught. I mean, it's quite intense, but there are like briefer videos and whatnot, and questions to ask the school district. You could become educated in that way. If it's too overwhelming for a parent, they
Mhm.
could perhaps get like an advocate, which, well, I mean, that could be costly, so it's not really accessible to everyone, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are people that would help out and just educate yourself, learn about um, decodable books, learn about structured literacy. Libraries, thankfully, are becoming a good resource for parents.
Oh,
There's
I
an
love it.
organization, yeah, there's an organization called Teach My Kid to Read. Now, they are loaded with information. I'm actually in a partnership with them, and when they go to the libraries, they take all these decodable authors and try to get the
Ah,
librarians set up with a decodable book section. which is going to
Oh,
be very helpful to the parents to, go in and, do their,
hmm,
learn about
yeah,
decoding. And they have like conferences and they're free and whatnot. So libraries are a good resource because some of them, some.
I
Again, it's
love
growing. Yeah, it's growing. Yeah.
growing. We'll take that. We'll take the break.
Right. Yes, we will take it. We will take it.
Um, so I know we talked about how you make learning silly and fun and engaging for students. I wanted to revisit this subject again because it's really important. I wanted to know, how do you come up with concepts that are both decodable and genuinely engaging?
A lot of it is from real life experiences.
I
Like
love it.
I have dogs, and
Mhm.
I know when I give my dogs, I do a shower. I don't do a bath. I do they because they're big. They're big pit bulls. I'll take them in the shower, clean them up, and where do they wind up? They're in the mud. They're in the dirt. So I take it from real life experiences. Also, I like to um add like a moral to the story. Like I like to teach a lesson. Like
Mhm.
one of my stories is called The Tunnel, where there's bugs involved and there's this big tick and they're running and they're scared. They go into the tunnel. These three bugs go into the tunnel and they're like, "Get out! You can't come in. You're scary. You're big and you're bad." And the tick is like, "No, I'm really not." And at the end of the story, the tunnel fills up with tears because
Mhm.
someone's
Oh.
someone's crying. The tick saves the tick saves them, takes them out of the tunnel, and they all become friends. So
Aw.
there's a lesson learned. There's like, just because you may look different and you're big or whatever the story is, it doesn't mean that you can't include them. It's a bullying lesson. Don't
Mhm.
bully. Include
Don't bully,
include
yeah.
people. Their feelings are hurt. So I like to make up silly stories like that. I don't really know where half the idea comes from, but that tunnel one, it just came to me, and it's one of my favorites actually.
Oh, I love how like
That's
we talked about forgiveness earlier, as part of your books, and then now. So I really love the message that, readers can take away from that book, parents and readers
yes,
alike. So
yes.
that is so wonderful. And I want to talk about creativity again. One of my author friends wanted to know this, and so I'm going to ask you, do you ever
Sure.
get stuck creatively? And if so, how do you get yourself moving again?
Oh, I'm always stuck. It's like, do I ever? I'm always stuck because I'm working with a very small set of words. I
Uh-huh.
can't use the words I want to use because they haven't learned that concept yet.
Oh.
So I'm continually stuck. I usually take a break.
Mm.
I'll put in the words that I can't use, take a break, use, look up synonyms that, a lot of the times nothing makes sense, nothing matches what I'm looking for. And if I find that if take a break from it, because
Mhm.
I don't really have I'm not pressured. I'm on my own time. I am retired. Well, sort of, kind of. I am retired. So I don't have to meet a deadline. I don't have to
Right.
do anything like that, which is lovely. But I do want to get my books, published. I don't want to spend too much time. And I
Mm.
find that if I just take a break, somehow an idea, pops into my head. I'll talk to my sons. I have three adult sons and my husband, and I'll talk to them about it, and they'll like throw out suggestions like, no, not decodable. No, 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 no. But sometimes their idea will help me by talking to people.
Mm.
Sometimes I could get a little spark from other
Right.
people.
Right. Right. So that's make me think about what you just shared in the earlier, like inclusion, togetherness. We all need each other. We all help each other. So
We do.
that
We
is
certainly
wonderful.
do. We certainly
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
And taking a break. I love how you said taking a break. That
Yeah,
is
you have to
so,
take a break
you
because if
have
you're
to.
stuck, you're stuck. Come back later. Come back
Yeah,
later, look at it with this new set of eyes and not
I,
so stuck anymore. Yeah.
mhm. I love that. Can you share a moment where you realized your books were making a difference? And can you share one of those moments that stayed with you?
It's mostly in the comments from teachers or parents. One moment is I received this video
Oh,
of a child reading one of my books, and he's just so proud because he got to page 100. Now I think the book has I don't know, like maybe 116 pages in it or something like that. And he yells over to his dad, Dad, look, I read 100 pages. So the videos of the children, there's another one where he's unwrapping and he's like, "Yay! I got more books from Sue Marasciulo." It's like
Oh,
it's really the kids' joys or the parents, like saying, you know, the
mhm.
comments on Amazon or whatnot, saying like, "This is like unbelievable. I finally have my child grabbing the book and reading a book like voluntarily."
Mhm.
Another kid, oh, I have to do one more thing. He took
Please.
it from school. He actually swiped it from school and slept with the book under his pillow. And the
Oh,
mother,
that is so
I'm like,
precious.
oh, I could cry because it's like, you slept with my book under your pillow. You loved it that much because there is nothing like joy in accomplishing something that's hard, right? I
Yes,
mean, we
yes.
all have that problem. Like the refrigerator breaks and you Google it and you know, figure out
Mhm.
what it could be and
Yes.
you fix it. It's like the joy is you can't stop getting that joy.
Mm, mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Complicated things and then success.
and then
It's
success.
part
Yeah.
of the joy of life.
Thank you so much for sharing the heart of the story with me. I'm with us. I That is just so touching. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you.
And speaking of children and joy, if you could stand in front of every child who doesn't believe they are a good reader, what would you say to them?
That's a hard one.
Hmm. Take your
Uh,
time.
what did I say to them? You know, try a decodable book. I guess
Hmm.
I would just say try, you know, it's not your fault. Everyone can learn how to read. There's no such thing as that you can't. You just your brain is actually needs to learn in a different way. And that's not a bad thing. You're all very intelligent children. Your brain is has to learn this in a sequential way.
Yeah.
And a lot of children are like that. Many are like that.
Thank you. So you've written 10 novels. What's next? And what are you dreaming up now?
Oh, just another book. I am going into a school on Thursday. I do, you know, author talks and whatnot. Um, a lot of them are just like Zooms.
Mhm.
I want to increase that, and you know, so I could get more of a reach.
Yes.
And I'm going into a local school district, and that's going to be a lot of fun because it's I'm doing a presentation for kindergartners, first graders, and second graders. It'd be fine if there were no adults. I wish it was just the kids and they didn't have adults watching me. That part I'm not a fan.
I'll be rooting for you. I'll be cheering for you. You've got this.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Steffi. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I wanted to know where can you share your website with us? If you have any social
Oh,
media handles, and where can we find your books?
yes. You could, my website is suemarasciulo.com. Very hard to spell. Um, I think if you have the spelling, you have it, right?
Right.
And then I have I'm on all the social medias. You could just I don't really know all my handles offhand. I'm
That's
sorry,
okay. The
technology.
website will
But I
do.
mean, Pat and Pals is one way to check, or just Sue Marasciulo,
Okay.
um, or Sue Shulo. I think it's all Sue Marasciulo or Susan Marasciulo. Most of the handles. I really don't know. I should know, but I
It's
don't.
it's
I always have
fine.
to look it up.
Yes, and I will be sure to include it in the show notes, and so people can find it there. They can click on it and then
Thank you
they will
so
read it.
much.
You are so welcome. And do you have any final thoughts with us before we wrap it up?
Um, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. I feel like, I love to share this information, and I think it's so important. And um, there is one thing I want to mention about the literacy crisis, actually, two things. The Nation's Report Card 2024, there are only 30, for all the fourth graders nationally, 31% are at the proficient or above proficient level. So what does that mean? The rest are not proficient. So
Oh,
that's so upsetting to me. We have to raise those scores. The
mhm.
other thing that's so concerning to me is if you go into a prison or jail, many of the inmates are struggling readers, not able to read. So if you don't have literacy, you're gonna, turn to maybe something else and maybe take the wrong road,
Yeah.
and there's no reason for it. I'm trying to think of that guy's. I just read a book. I can't think of the name about someone who went to prison. He does now national speaking. I can't believe I can't think of his name, but it's a wonderful book about his journey of being illiterate, learning how to read in jail, and then coming out and promoting, that it's not your fault. It's
Mhm.
not your fault. You just need to have the right instruction. It's
Mhm.
not that you're like dumb, like what they always think, like, oh, I don't have a brain. Everybody could read. Why can't I? So that's a huge passion of mine. Those people who are made the wrong choices because of illiteracy. We have to fix it. We have to.
They have to, so they can enjoy the freedom of literacy, reading, and adding to what they already know or want to know or are curious about. I'm all for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, for absolutely. Yeah, and I just want to thank you for allowing me to get the word out about this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. This was fun. I really enjoyed our conversation. And
Same here. Same here.
yes, have a fabulous week.
Thank you.
You just heard Sue Marasciulo, a writer on a mission that truly changes lives. Her passion for literacy, for opening doors through decodable stories, is a reminder that reading isn't just a skill, it's a gift. If today's conversation encouraged you, share this episode with someone who cares about nurturing a reader. And don't forget to check out Sue's decodable graphic novels. They are such a gift to families and classrooms. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, keep leading with heart. Thank you for sharing this space with us on Heart to Heart with Abagaba. I hope this conversation inspired you to keep moving forward in hope and light. If this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone you love. Leave us a review and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a moment of inspiration, connection, and joy. May your home be filled with peace, your heart with joy, and your spirit with the quiet strength of love. Until next time, take care of your heart, take care of each other, and keep celebrating the love that makes us family.